Since becoming one of 4 UNDP Goodwill Ambassadors in 1998, you have made visits to Cambodia, Palestine, and Bhutan. Your 4th trip this past July to Ghana marked your first trip to Africa. Ms. Kono, what were your impressions of the country, both before and after your week-long Goodwill visit?
First of all, I was surprised to learn that it was cooler in Ghana than in Japan. August is the rainy season and also the most comfortable time of the year in Ghana. The capital city of Accra is a busy city with a lot of traffic. It looked just like any other city, not particularly an African city. There being no elephants or giraffes walking on the street, of course. It was not until I saw the Cape Coast Castle, a famous place for slave trading in the past, that I realized I had really come to Africa. I heard that millions of people were kept in the dark basement. I was shocked at the sight. At that time, slave ships were called floating coffins. Among all the places I visited, the most impressive sight was the people's cheerfulness, kindness, and toughness. From children to old people, they all have beautiful expressions of their faces. Although Ghana suffers from poverty, the fact that there is peace in the country makes this possible.
While in Ghana, you called on Vice President Mahama and visited personally the sites of many UNDP development assistance projects, including an IT mobile education project for school children, the Clothing and Technology Center in Accra, and the Manya Krobo HIV/AIDS Orphans Initiative. Next, Ms. Kono, I would like you to describe the scenes you were witness to in Ghana. First, can you tell us about your experiences with the Manya Krobo Queen Mothers Association and the hundreds of children orphaned by HIV/AIDS in Ghana?
Yes, there were 170,000 orphans who have lost their parents to HIV/AIDS. I was able to see one community's efforts in tackling the problem in Manya Krobo district, where they have an especially large number of such unfortunate children. There is a group of housewives called the Queen Mothers. They are relatively rich and of high social status. Each Queen Mother looks after 6 children as if they were her own. In Ghana, there seems to be a strong concept of mutual help. In Ghana,
in the over 20 countries of Southern Africa, 1/3 of all children are unable to finish elementary school, and 1 in 6 children do not reach their 5th birthday. Ms. Kono, please tell us more about the education situation for children in Ghana.
Yes, I found that Ghana places a great importance on education. In fact, I visited a lot of schools during my visit. I also visited one of the UNDP IT education project, which aims to reduce the so-called digital divide. IT education is provided as mobile buses equipped with computers, which tour around Ghana. I was able to see an IT class at a junior high school in Accra. The students were clearly fascinated by this window onto the world. One thing, however, only a small number of fortunate people have access to IT classes. They do not have enough trained people and equipment.
Ms. Kono, what kind of a role do you believe Japan has in development assistance in Africa?
The first and most important thing is that more Japanese people should take an interest in Africa. Africa is geographically far away from Japan and also culturally very different. But, however far away Africa may be, it would be good for all of us to give a helping hand to those in need. I truly felt this from the bottom of my heart after interacting with many Ghanaian people during my trip. I'd like to share my experience with as many people as possible. I hope this increases people's interest in Africa.
Upon return to Japan, you met with the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Ms. Yoriko Kawaguchi. What did you speak about with Ms. Kawaguchi?
I showed her some selected photos from Ghana. Madam Yoriko Kawaguchi showed a great interest in my experience of interaction with HIV/AIDS orphans. I asked her how she managed her busy office schedule. In response, she gave me her personal tips, such as to rest well and eat well. I found it very useful. I was also pleased to receive much encouragement to my work as a goodwill ambassador from her. We agreed to work together towards awareness building for African development and Ticket 3. I hope this conference will provide an opportunity not only in Japan, but also throughout the world for people to learn more about the realities of contemporary Africa. However, it is essential that the talking is translated into action. I hope the conference will bear much fruit.
Ms. Kono, thank you very much for your time today.
Thank you very much.